Hello to all my freedom-loving woo homies out there. This is a collective tarot reading for the new moon in Gemini. Depending on where you live, it's either going to be on June 18th or 19th. It's one of those lunations that, well, for me in the Eastern time zone, is taking place at midnight. So yeah, for most of the Americas, it's going to be on the 18th. Anyway, I'm going to do a horseshoe spread using my Tarot of the Divine, and as always, I have 3 oracle cards to the side, so you can pick which 1, 2, or all 3 resonate with you the most. So let us see what guidance the tarot has to offer for us. I should mention that Temperance reversed flipped over while I was shuffling. We shall see what that means, if anything. So in the past, we have the Queen of Swords. The present, we have the 3 of Wands. Interesting. Known factors. The 5 of Cups. Yeah, of course. Us, as a movement, is the Devil. Very interesting. Okay. I can't wait to look into that. Unknown factors, we have the 7 of Coins. Advice, we have the 8 of Wands. And as potential outcome, we have the Magician reversed with the 6 of Coins at the bottom of the deck. Let me just get this framed right. This should be virtually perfect. It's a little crooked, but is this well framed? Excellent. All right, I'll see you right now. All right, so there are a lot of mixed messages in this reading, but I'm going to try to make it down because I do think that there is a cohesive theme throughout all of this. In short, I think that it's easy to it's easy to underestimate the progress that we've done to make it to this point. And I think that that is what's represented by the 5 of Cups. Obviously, the disappointment is there. However, the 7 of Coins is a reminder of the progress that we have made, the seeds that we might have planted, which can have yet to grow. But just because a seed has not grown into a full plant that is born, that is bearing fruit, it doesn't mean that it won't, you know. And the Queen of Swords here is a nod to just telling it like it is. I think this plays also in the full moon and Sag reading that I gave, which was an invitation for us to mend our relationships. And I think that there is, it's important to keep at it. However, it is also important to not let the perceived lack of progress until this point discourage us. There are a couple ways to interpret the Devil card as us that I will get to shortly, but the one that I'm focusing on now is the fact that sometimes when we don't see the results that we have, it is easy to get discouraged and to kind of just throw our hands up. And I think that one of the mixed signals that is being given in this reading is, you know, as the advice card, the 8 of Wands is recommending that we take massive action during these next couple weeks heading into Cancer season. However, it is also a nod to, even though we should take massive action, to not expect instant results and yet also not cut ourselves short for the progress that we have made up until this point. Like the 3 of Wands here, and I usually call the 3 of Wands the threshold card, but this is a woman climbing a ladder, you know, climbing, ascending. And it's no matter, despite the fact that we haven't reached the top of the ladder yet, we are still higher up than we were when we started. And I think that the disappointment that is implied with the fact that we're not at the top of the ladder, despite how much we would like to be, is not reason enough to stop climbing. Because whatever is on the at the top of the ladder is worth climbing for. I'm reading the fact that the Magician is reversed as a delay, which is what is optimistic. And speaking of this, I want to point out, this entire reading is upright except for the magician here. So that is what is making it's making it easy to interpret the fact that it's reversed as a delay in the manifestation that we want to manifest. Now, this devil here, I think that the one way to interpret it, which is what I've kind of been harping on thus far, is to make sure that we're not bound to instant results and the discouragement that can come to it. I'm also like, if you read the devil this way, it blends almost with the Five of Cups here, in the sense that you don't need to keep focusing on how frustrating everything is and how bleak things might look if you look at it from a certain perspective. That is not the best way to push ourselves to take the massive actions that we are invited to take. And the other way to interpret it is that, and this ties into the Sag reading, we might be the devil to some people. And I don't mean that as bad. I mean that as temptation, The legend here, I'm assuming it's the snake in the Garden of Eden. Although if that was the legend, I would imagine that this snake would be depicted differently. But what I'm getting at is to be mindful that in order to build the coalitions that we will need to get to where we want to go, it will require breaking people out of their spell, and to be mindful that that is extremely not good for some people. While I was thinking of the words, I was thinking of the scene from They Live. I'm assuming you've seen this movie. They Live has one of the longest fight scenes I've ever seen in a movie, and it was between Roddy Piper's character and his first recruit. Just getting him to put on the fucking glasses involved such hassle. Those two beat the shit out of each other, and that is how that is the extent to which his black friend didn't want to put the glasses on. And I'm not whatever. Let's just say that given the last couple readings that I've given, I would, instead of trying to spiritually or mentally beat the shit out of your friends or beat them into submission, to turn them over to your lead, because that's been tried before. And that's what got us to our situation now, to be mindful of, if you encounter that kind of resistance, to not to let go of your desire to bang your head against the wall, because you're the devil to these people, so try to be mindful of that. But ultimately, again, as interesting as this reading is, the fact that it's all upright, except for one card, is encouraging, despite the disappointments here, despite the slow progress in the immediate that we're still being invited to take massive actions towards to help grow, Yeah. Now, there's one thing that I knew immediately that I was going to do while I was staring at these cards is, I'm curious where Temperance Reversed ended up. Oh, well, I didn't have to look very long. I was going to say that I was going to pause the recording, but it's right here. So, just put this back here. So, Temperance Reverse ended up between Strength Reversed and the Ten of Wands. Let me look at this here and interpret this. This is actually pretty simple. I think that the message of this Strength Reverse, Temperance Reverse, Ten of Wands combo is that part of the one of the dangers of impatience is to either the impatience might be due to us either not being aware of how powerful we are or trying to do the domineering aspect of strength instead of the gentle strength that is typically nodded at in this card. In the traditional card, it's a woman taming a lion with her bare hands, really chill about it. And yeah, that is what might cause us to proverbially beat the living shit out of our friend until he puts the glasses on, and in the process have our friend beat the shit out of us, you know? And that creates needless weight, needless burden. It makes the job that is already difficult even more difficult. So yeah, try to not let your impatience impatience motivate you to do those wild Hail Mary type moves that people sometimes do when they are impatient. So move swiftly and decisively, but not impatiently. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So that is it for the tarot portion. I'm going to move on to the oracle card portion. If you chose the wisdom of the oracle, your card is To the Sea. Let me look at this here. What I'm interpreting this, the way I'm reading this card is more as an invitation to be gentle with your friends. So it's kind of a reinforcement of this part here in the tarot portion. What drew my attention was, you know, this person is lost at sea here, and yet there's a really subtle influence here represented by the face in the sky trying to guide this person, or at least be there to console him. And I'm reading, given the context of this reading here and the last couple readings, I'm reading us collectively as the subtle face in the sky, just being there for this lost person without necessarily, you know, beating the shit out of them. All right, if you chose the Radiant Sun, your card is Fortune. This is the Sun in Leo. This is awesome. Let me look at this. I think this group here, you're being invited to focus on the success that you've had and to use that as a way to become a beacon that will draw people towards you. But again, to do it in a gentle way. This is yet another nod to this combo here. I'm reminded of something I read in a Buddhist book many years ago, which was you'll never see the sun going, hey, look at me, I'm shining. The sun is kind of just there. And it's really important, you know. If it wasn't there, there would be many problems, you know. If you chose the Moonology Manifestations deck, your card is the new moon in Capricorn. Step up and lead. You know, there we go. I've gone into this rant in another video. One of the reasons I prefer the Moonology Manifestations deck to the original Moonology deck is these phrases here are so perfect that it's difficult for me to add anything to them. But basically, if you've been coasting, it's time for you to step into your power. Keep in mind the overall message of this reading as a whole, but it's time for you to step into your power and to be that source of inspiration that can draw people towards where we want to go. But again, be mindful that, you know, they might not want to put their glasses on. Leave them be. And also, I forget the other thing. I was basically going to rehash some things that I've said many, many times in this reading. Be the good leader, but be the gentle leader. You're being invited to build coalitions as swiftly yet gently as you can, and I'm trusting you to find that balance for yourself. So that is what I have for all of us. If you like this video, please give this a like. It really does help me out a lot. And we have the sun moving into Cancer a couple days after this new moon, so that should be interesting. The summer will officially begin. And on that note, y'all have a great couple of weeks. I'll see you soon.